Welcome, welcome, welcome. If anyone's here, Seth is not here yet. Actually waiting on Seth to show up. But in case people were waiting, I wanted to jump on here and get things started. So welcome. What day is it? It's 2 o'clock my time, last hour of the trade week. It is Friday. That's what day it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. And would you prefer, can you hear me okay? Give me one of these if you can hear me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't worry, things will get exciting when Seth shows up. I will have to jump up and let him in, but it's all good. What's going on? Let's look at NIO. I want to see what NIO is doing right now. Pull up this chart. Better screen, maybe. Hey, James, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for being here. Good. Good to know. You can hear me. Excellent. I don't know what to expect. I'm talking about for the end of the trade week. It's sort of, I don't know. It's been crazy watching the market this week and knowing we've still got this weakness, but also seeing some things kind of moving around a little bit. JC, what's up? Oh yeah, you were checking out last night's live stream. Yeah, it was good to get Seth back kind of in the groove of things. He had been, he missed the last week and I think he was kind of anxious to get back on cam. So it was good to jump back on camera. And it's always, there's a vibe that with, especially when Seth and I, we just kind of hang out and talk. It's laid back. It's very chill, relaxed. And I think especially with the backdrop of the markets being really stressful, I think for a lot of people, I'm glad that we can kind of just have fun with things, joke around, still talk business and still talk trends in the market and, NIO stock or whatever else, but with no sort of anxiety necessary kind of thing. So I'm glad to do that. Glad that we can do that. Does anyone know about, I'm checking Twitter because I want to see, I finally dropped the video since I talked about it last night, this whole 18,000 delivery number for July that one person on Twitter was sort of inferring that they expected. And then I asked, I was just kind of like, hey, would you clarify? Are you predicting this? Because I don't see it happening, but I'd like to know if maybe there's something I'm missing. And I still haven't gotten a response from the person, but I went ahead and did a video and dropped it this morning, sort of asking the person to respond and just give clarity on it, on whether or not he expects it, if he's actually calling for it. What's crazy is there was an article that I saw Forbes put out about NIO just a few hours ago. And I'll tell you what, this is one of the things that I like to do. I like to see what they're missing or what they're not talking about. And they did not mention, they mentioned new models coming out. They did not mention that a NIO Park is coming online. And they didn't mention that delivery numbers are going to be going up significantly between now and the end of the year for NIO. So that makes me wonder if a lot of folks aren't even aware of it yet. And so that could make things kind of fun for the rest of the year to watch and see what happens. I know that some people believe and say that the market is forward looking or that it's ahead. I don't think that that's the case. Certainly not when it comes to some companies that are emerging or still early in their growth stage and phase. And I think that is the case with NIO. That's why I picked them. And what's really wild is that at such an early stage, NIO stock was able to run the way that it did. And that was partly due to, I think, some of the fails to deliver and what may have been going on in the background with manipulative shorting possibly going on. And we saw how that played out. It really, allowed for things to move. And so as the company positions itself to get fundamentally stronger, I'm curious and kind of, I'll be looking ahead to when, let's say, for example, this bear market is done, whenever that ends up being. Maybe it's 2024, 25, I don't know. I'm just kind of watching and monitoring everything, and also trying to keep track of whether or not here in the US we're going to get things cleaned up or not, because it's a mess. It's really bad, and things don't seem to be getting addressed. I'm going to switch this view. Yeah, that's good. We're going to go with that one for now anyway. But let's see. What's up, Daniel? I see you. Let me know in the comments where you are, people. Whoever's here. I wonder if we'll get an uptick of people once Seth shows up. Everybody's waiting on Seth, probably. It's all good either way. But yeah, I'm really curious when I see things like that, and folks like Forbes talking about NIO, but missing, or rather not talking about a really big fundamental shift that's coming for NIO. I just wonder, I'm like, okay, that's great. That's what I want to see. I want to see them sleeping on things, not recognizing things, not understanding some of what's coming even in the short term. So Alan, Texas, what's up? Okay. 11. That's awesome. Ted, what's up? Happy Friday. I feel like it's a laid back Friday, like even more of a laid back Friday than normal. I don't know. It just seems real low key for some reason. Maybe because the market is just so the market, right? The market has been crashy and trashy is what I've been calling it. But again, I'm wondering, when do we get the political pump? I expect it. I would really like to do a poll. I don't have enough Twitter followers because I'm not real big on there, but it'd be curious to do a poll and see how many people believe that there is widespread market manipulation in the U.S. stock market. I would really like to see what the response and the numbers to that would be, a poll like that. James says won't be able to stay on the entire stream thanks to work. What's my take on delisting? Haven't seen anything new come through. Washington State. What's up, Washington? Let's go. No, I haven't seen anything. I think Gensler the other day said something, and that got people talking about it. But he was just kind of, again, negative, like he has been several times before. He didn't give us any new information one way or the other. And so I contribute that to a nothing burger. I really wasn't concerned about that. There's a lot of money at stake, over $1 trillion. And the way I kind of see the whole delisting thing, if we just cut to the, like, if we're real blunt and direct about it, here's the way I'm looking at it. Short term, if NIO were to be delisted, I actually think it would help the stock price short term because of the manipulative aspect of what goes on here in the US and the short mechanisms in play. I believe that the investment view and the approach in Asia is different, generally speaking. And so I think that it would help NIO short term, but I think long term, the benefit is to being listed in the US, and I think it is worth it. And I think also that any shorting and manipulation that goes on short term can actually contribute to the stock price moving up more long term anyway. So again, long term, I want to see it stay here, even though sure, short term, if it wasn't here, I think it actually would help the stock price. But I'm not here for the short term. I'm looking at the long term. So that's what I want to see. And that's just my thought. No financial advice, no advice ever from me. Absolutely not. I'm not here for that. Not an attorney, not a financial advisor. Got to give my disclaimer, throw it out there. So yeah, that's just my take. And again, as far as the time frame, and that's the other thing is, when folks from the SEC, for example, want to, put little sound bites out there being negative, and then, sort of, oh, we need to hurry up with this. Why do we need to hurry up? I mean, right now, as the law stands, it needs to be done by 2024. If the potential pending expediting of the law happens, then it would be 2023. And so at that point, it would be needing to be addressed sooner. But again, it's kind of a nothing burger at this point. I would like to get word on it. I would like to know that it's a done deal, and that, it's not going to be an issue. And so I don't know how much longer we have to wait, but I'm not tripping on it. That's for sure. I'm just waiting to see what happens. And I still think, $1 trillion plus, that would be leaving. I don't know that the U.S. market wants to lose that. I also think there's another kind of element that's here as more and more investors are becoming more aware of the manipulation and the lies and kind of the dishonor that goes on, and that seems really heavily a part of the U.S. system. It's kind of like, do we need to make things look worse for ourselves? I would like us to get kind of to a better, view. I feel like U.S. we're kind of getting laughed at a lot in a lot of ways and not being taken as seriously. And I feel like that starts with leadership. And so I hope we can clean some things up. That's kind of what I mean by that too. I don't think that helps. But Ted A says, not the greatest day for Chinese stocks today, but that is okay. Yeah, I wondered about that. I saw BABA dropped, and I know there was a little bit of a news narrative that came out with BABA, and I saw, some of the different perspectives, and I thought, I wonder if that's maybe the early flush on the day, and that's sort of the justification for pushing things down. I'm also wondering if there aren't some big money folks who are looking to position so that they can make some kind of entry-year gains. I'm kind of expecting that at some point because as long as China doesn't shut things down, they're going to have a very strong third and fourth quarter with numbers, especially in the NEV space. That's the direction that the country's going. And so I just expect that. But I don't know how many people are sleeping on it, unaware, completely, so focused on other things that they're not recognizing that yet. So we'll see. Again, I'll be watching for the big money to start moving eventually. And so I don't expect when they start buying that they're going to want to buy at sort of these higher prices. So, maybe when there are flush days or that sort of thing, they'll take their positions, maybe even into the August 10th earnings. Maybe, at that point we still see something, but they're running out of time. So that's the way I look at it. I should probably do a video on that, kind of explaining and walking through what I'm thinking and what I'm watching for. I'm falling behind on comments, so I better get back. Margarita, what's up? Sweden, welcome. That's outstanding. I love the global community. It's one of my favorite things about this group, this NIO community. Daniel says, horse track in the shadow of Mount Rainier is where I'll be this evening. Wow, that's awesome. Thoroughbreds or what? I've got some family out in the Louisville area, and they're kind of big on their horse racing out there. They got Churchill Downs, and of course the Kentucky Derby's out that way. So U11 says, glad we bounced off the 20 retest. Let's go. Yeah, I was watching this morning. I was kind of like, all right, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? And I saw BABA keep going down, and I thought, uh-oh. And but yeah, NIO did hold up pretty well. And again, it was sort of that low volume that we're seeing anyway. So let's, I don't know, again, what's going on maybe in dark pools that we can't see. I don't actively track that stuff, but it's always interesting to kind of wonder, when's the money going to start flowing in heavily? So we'll see. But yeah, $20 range. Like for that to be the new base. Jason JC, I hope they respond to the Grizzly report soon. Yeah, I'll be curious what they do. I was almost a little surprised that they addressed it, that NIO addressed it. But I would really like if they actually go after them legally, if they decide that they can, and they very may well be able to. I don't know. But they may have some claims there. And even from the standpoint of, I don't know that Grizzly has that much capital for them to go after necessarily, but it would kind of be an indicator that they're going to protect the investors, us. And I would like to see that, especially, again, we're back to this U.S. market where, I don't mind that folks say they don't trust China or that sort of thing. People's opinion is that. And I'm not going to ever be upset about what someone's opinion is with regard to something like that. At the same time, we see this stuff happen on a regular basis, and there's a lot of dishonor that's blatantly going on and has been going on in the U.S. market. So what about that? Let's get it together. Ted A says, oh, no more law talk. Laugh out loud. yeah, well, hey, it's always a possibility. We've got the German lawsuit with Audi, and we've got the possible lawsuit with Grizzly, and the SEC stuff ongoing, and just can't get away from it. Daniel says Ford belt Mexican tough. Let's go. Seth. All right, he's on his way. I'll have to jump up and let him in when he gets here, but I wonder if he's listening in right now. Seth, are you listening? Wait, don't respond if you're driving. Drive, focus on the road. Focus. Be safe, buddy. Daniel says, Yepers, I'm thinking that's the thoroughbred racetrack comment, which is cool. Ted A says, I hope Seth's tardiness is because he's doing a deep dive on research for his upcoming video promised on Sunday. Laugh out loud. Yeah, we better remind him of that. Make sure he stays on point with that and gets his research in. I'm really curious. I don't know who is watching for divergence in the market or has an eye on what the SPY's been doing, or the IWM for that matter, or any opinions on what's going to happen in short term. That's the big challenge, right? I mean, the U.S., the economy, it's a mess. I knew that for the last couple of years. I could see it. And so I didn't know exactly how that would play out in the market, but I have felt like, and I've said it before, it seems like we've got a controlled stock market crash on our hands where it's just kind of a level by level thing that's going on. And I don't know at what point that stops. I also don't know. I do not anticipate the same kind of thing that we saw in 2008. I was back out here in the world, and I saw, that go on with the real estate and what was happening. And there's a real problem that was never addressed. Things were sort of shifted, moved around, but nothing really changed other than the packaging and the presentation of some of the products that were out there. And another time we'll talk about that when we get into real estate. But coming back to the world, I saw that things on the real estate front weren't necessarily all that different. There was just a lot of repackaging. And so there's a different type of, I don't even want to call it a bubble, but the prices are definitely way out of line with that. And so I don't know how that will bleed over into the market and how those will sort of offset or affect one another. I'll just be watching it. Smoking, what's up? Welcome. Jeff, welcome. Let's go, Neo. Stay strong. Ted A, a little off current topic. But have you been paying attention to the housing market? Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking about that. That's kind of on point. Not even knowing it. Yeah, I've been watching it, and here's what I saw. When I left, I think the average, I saw a chart on this actually. It was kind of interesting. Average or median price for residential housing. So we're talking about, if you're buying a home for yourself, your family, was in the $200,000 to $250,000 range. And that was just about 10 years ago, roughly. And it's pretty much doubled since then. And one of the problems that we're going to run into is if the Fed wants to continue raising rates, then that will push more people out of being able to afford to purchase in the market. And so that's going to also, if anyone has gotten financing in place on a home that they bought, and let's say they didn't get long-term financing locked in and they have like an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage, something like that, and that interest ticks up, their payment is going to go up, and it could present a real problem with all the other costs going up for households to be able to keep making their mortgage payments. And so that's a problem if a lot of people end up defaulting on loans, then we're going to see some inventory coming back through foreclosures. We're also going to see and kind of another way to look at it in terms of, in my view is more, it's bigger picture, like the conceptual overview, but I don't know what the specific numbers are yet. But we were doing, say, for those couple of years where things were locked down, shut down, there were some things put in place that prevented mortgages from being foreclosed on by lenders. So if somebody did fall behind, they weren't necessarily getting foreclosed on, which means those properties might have been sitting vacant or might need to be foreclosed on, but haven't. And so we still may have supply coming down the pipeline that we haven't even seen yet. And so again, it's a really interesting time to be here and kind of looking around and seeing it, what the stock market is doing, what the housing market might be about to do. Markets are cyclical. They come back around, and so it's sort of a timing thing. And that's no different with the real estate market, except that there is a little bit more lag time. There's a little bit more of a longer, period of both aspects, and really there's four kind of parts that the way that I see the cycles go. There's, two sort of seller phases and two sort of buyer phases. And so it's going to be interesting to see what the time frame looks like on that. But I absolutely think that there will be a lot of craziness coming on the side of real estate, both commercial and residential. So it's going to be interesting. It's also going to put pressure on banks. Banks were already scared. I could see that when I came back to the world. And so it's a really, really fascinating dynamic that we have. We've got a lot of different things that could, with sort of what would seem like small shifts or changes, things could really change a lot. And so I'm just kind of sitting back watching and looking at opportunities and going, all right, let's see, how this goes. I know it'll be fun once we actually start talking real estate on here too. That's going to be different. Jeff says consolidation again. Okay with it. Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. Kathy Wood called it with Tesla. She said the longer consolidation, the more powerful the move when it goes. I think Seth's here. Yeah, he said he's pulling up right now. So I'm gonna run out and grab him. Hold that thought. Don't move. I'll be back in 2.5 ish. Seth is here. He's here. Now we can really get started. Sorry about that, y'all. I think actually more viewers came in when I left. So it's picking up now. They know you're on your way.
Nice. Let's go. Oh, God. Oh, goodness.
Now we can really start.
Yeah, holy cow.
So
right.
It's warm outside for those who didn't know. We are in Nebraska, but it's actually
got out of the showers.
We got like a heat advisory going.
It's not sweat. Don't be fooled. Not that bad.
Let's go. All right, what did we miss here? Well, let's catch you up on comments. Ted was asking. He said you're hopefully the reason you weren't here is you were doing a deep dive for your video on Sunday. That's expected.
I wish I was doing that. I was not, unfortunately.
That's funny. And then we were talking. I was actually talking a little bit about housing. Right, we were talking a little real estate.
Really,
could definitely be a bloodbath with rising rates. Yeah, in the housing market for sure.
There's some news on Chinese housing markets. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've been watching that. Watching that in the background.
I think maybe I didn't send you it. I don't know. There's a tweet earlier. I thought I sent it.
Shoot it over. And yes, Ted, I agree. There will absolutely be deals coming down the pipeline. It's funny. One of my buddies is about Seth's age. These guys, they haven't seen this other side of the cycle on the real estate side. And I was
No.
like, just wait. There will be deals. And they're like, are you sure? And I said, just hold on.
I haven't seen the other side of the cycle in the stock market either, really, till now.
Yeah. This is a true. Well, and it's a dangerous market. The stock market is dangerous right now.
First timer in the bear market.
Jeff says likely some deals coming. Seth is in the house. That's correct. We can now officially start.
I'm in the apartment technically.
Rizwan, what's up in London? Yes,
let's go. Ted, we could play music for Final Jeopardy.
That was where I was going.
Loading music, yeah. Jeff said, haha, Ted, dude, excited for July, August, and September delivery numbers. Rizwan,
absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully more exciting than the past couple of months and deliveries.
Yeah, well, we just had our new record. Let's get another one. Let's keep it going. That's what I'm thinking.
18,000.
I put that video out, and I still haven't heard from Alfonso, but I asked him. I was like, "Hey, bud,
you're not going to?"
I'm afraid I won't.
No.
Let's see, David, what's up?
David said, "Hello, Aaron. What's your view on delisting? And were you disappointed that China didn't actually have a deal in June like they said they would?"
No, I am not disappointed. I do think that realistically, they needed to, and we're actually seeing the moves in the background, like behind the scenes. We're seeing them change they're loosening the travel restrictions in country and the time that you have to be in quarantine once you get there. We're also seeing that even though the numbers are kind of upticking, knock on wood, I haven't seen them shut anything down in China. Again, those things needed to happen because if, let's say, Seth and I are PCAOB folks who need to go over and do on-site inspections, if we have to spend 2 weeks quarantine in, whatever hotel we get to when we arrive in country, we can't do our job.
Yeah,
and so
it's kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, I wasn't really that concerned with them not doing the announcement in June because they had that April-May shutdown period. And I think heading into the latter part of this year, especially November, they have political stuff going on in China in November as well as here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so there's a reason for them to make sure things kind of stay open. And also, shout out, Marcel had a tweet and reference there is a medicine. It's not a vaccine. It's a medicine that provides effectiveness and assistance for those over there. So there is another option out there for them.
It's a lot less of a scary word.
Exactly. It's a crazy idea.
Medicine versus vaccine.
Mm-hmm. I know that pharmaceutical companies make a lot more money on the one than the other, probably, but we're not going to get into that. That's like legal talk. We don't need to do it any more than we have to.
I think
did we miss some? We might have missed some. This is what happens. Things pick up when you arrive. Right? It's like people know it's go time.
Just said Rizzy, it will be epic. I agree. Third, fourth quarter should be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Good bounces coming. Let's hope.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't even really been in the market yet today. I mean, no surprise, but I saw one of my notifications. It was like NIO down to 19
for just a second.
1999.
Yeah, it went down. Bob
I was like, "There's my buying opportunity," and I was at work.
Alibaba went down and
NIO got below 20
at the same time, but it didn't stay down there for long. And it's staying over 20. I think I had it. Yeah, I've got it on the screen. But did you see what I did? I wanted to test this out in case we have another superior fancy guest on sometime,
right?
So that we can get everyone on screen. I think this is the one we'll use. I think it'll work.
That splits.
Yeah.
Well, but
because the other one was cutting me off, but I think that was the other.
Well, that depends on if there's a third screen, I think.
But we were only trying that one.
Is that the one?
I think that's the one.
What happens if you do that one right now?
Bam! I'm cut off. I'm gone. See. So really, we can leave it up to chat if they want to cut me off at any point in time today.
Yeah,
just let Seth know. He'll cut me right
out. I don't
out.
want to be on the big screen. Pressure's on me. Hockey Black, what's up?
What's up?
Discord. Friday. What's up, guys? Oh, just hanging out. Just got in here actually.
Yeah,
Aaron's been carrying it for a little while.
Try it.
Andy, hi from Hawkesbury, Upton.
All right, UK's represented today.
Awesome.
Love it.
Sweet.
What's up, Andy?
So it says in the house, NIO jumped 6 cents. Coincidence? I think not.
You darn right. They know what's up.
Yeah.
They know what time it is.
I haven't even looked today. Didn't even have to. Jeff said I put out a poll on Twitter on the delisting.
Ooh,
check
cool.
it out,
We'll have to
Jeff.
check that. Yeah. Let's get a vote in there. We're gonna vote real
I'll
time.
submit my vote.
We're going to vote real time on this thing.
Jeff's always tweeting.
I know. Jeff does
I
not
haven't
play
been
when it
on
comes
the
to the
Twitter
tweets.
yet today, so there's a lot I got to catch up on.
Yeah, Rizwan says waiting for NIO Park and ET5. Yeah, here's what's going to be fun. ET5, ES7, maybe they come out a little early in August. I don't know. I it's kind of like the delivery number. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I want to let NIO lead the way. Is what I'm trying to say.
All right.
Jeff says NIO Park closer and closer. Absolutely. When is NIO Park opening, Frank? They've kind of officially announced and said September is when deliveries would start of the ET5, but then they also have since then announced the ES7, and they talked about that maybe being delivered late August, which they're both coming from NIO Park, which makes me think, if that's the factory, maybe it's going to be up and operational and running before September. I hope.
So stops production of all Apple and Tesla products. Sorry, I'm reading Jeff's poll.
What's our poll? Let's talk about it.
So USA delists all Chinese ADR. Literally the next day, China stops production of Apple and Tesla products, which is their main source of capital. No effect. USA is the factory of the world, according to Joe Biden.
Oh no, we got a quote in there.
It won't happen.
At least it wasn't repeat the line.
What is going on out there?
It's
got some ruckus in the apartment today, guys.
It's getting wild.
Yeah.
So what are the options for voting?
It's the right thing. It won't happen. Oh, the delisting?
Yeah.
No. Get out of my face.
All right. Yeah.
Get out of my face with that.
Seth has voted. The vote is in.
I voted with the mass. The large mass, the smart mass.
Andy says, all good, thanks. When do you think we'll reach $40? Ooh, you were talking about that end of year, right? That's a possibility.
Yeah, that was my prediction.
And now that we've actually gotten some delivery numbers in since then.
Yeah.
And if we have, let's say we don't get a big number this month, but let's say we do 14,000. So it's another record delivery number. And then in September, we get, in August, maybe we get a roughly the same number. And then September, NIO Park comes online and we get up to, let's say, 20,000 deliveries in a month.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then the end of the year, we see that. What are you thinking?
Go well. Like I said earlier, I mean, $40 would be ideal if everything goes smoothly. But the odds of everything going smoothly, we'll see with how things have been and just the track record of how things are going. That the vid's got to stay away.
If there are shutdowns in China,
Then there's just
that's the biggest issue for me on the Chinese side.
no way
They
can
I
keep
think
up.
I think to an extent the delisting stuff has kind of been priced in. Maybe it would affect a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I just don't know that it would be a huge.
It's doing too much.
I think a lot of the people who are going to be scared off by that have been already. And the other people, there's a lot of
been
people
going on
trading.
forever.
I think there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's going to remain the same. I think whenever folks with big money recognize that NIO's about to really ramp up delivery numbers, that's kind of a no-brainer for them to make some quick, easy gains.
See the money start moving.
But the other big unknown is the U.S. stock market and how weak it's going to be end of year. But I do think we still get a political pump between now and the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because politicians care about image.
It happens.
And the U.S. is looking rough right now.
Not our best look ever.
So your response is $40.
That's what I was.
Before end of year,
$40. I would like to say, well, if NIO Park gets up, then I would like to, give it a month, maybe two to, ramp up and see what numbers we actually put out. But yeah, I would hope by at least December. I mean, a little early Christmas.
Okay, we'll go with that. I can live with that.
Christmas in July right now. Not.
We're ready for it. I'm ready. I'm down. And Jeff weighing in with a prediction. This is end of year.
September to remember, baby. I hope.
Yeah.
End of year, I'd say 60. There you go, Jeff.
Okay. And you know what? I think that's actually a good range. I think 40 to 60 is it even with the bear market backdrop, because the numbers for NIO are just going to get better from here. Unless shutdowns in China persist, but I don't see that happening at least into November because of the political reasons and sort of the imagery that's going to be in play for them. Just like over here.
Frank said when NIO Park opens up, delivery should be around 45,000 a month.
No, I think they're going to go with a slower ramp up, kind of like what they did with the ET7. And they sort of indicated that in the last earnings. But here's the thing, August 10th, I believe, is the second quarter earnings call. They're probably going to give us more details then.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing that. If it works, you can come over. We'll do a live of it. I'll be doing a live either way.
Gone until the 8th or the 7th. I forget when my vacation is, but I should be back by the 10th.
We'll have a special guest appearance from this guy.
Yeah, I'll be gone for, like 13 days. I'm gone.
What am I going to do, man? I got to hold it down.
I don't know. You guys are going to have to help him out. Bring some viewers on, keep you company.
Let's go.
Maybe a live stream from Costa Rica. If I can get my laptop.
We're going to talk about real estate before we go down there. I'm going to tell you what to watch for and who to talk to when you go.
Right. So did we answer
the 45? Yeah, I think the NIO Park by end of year with NIO Park and the existing factory, I'm hoping we'll see. I still don't know if we'll have that big of a number.
Have the double shifts started? Yeah,
they're starting this quarter.
This quarter sometime.
Yeah, and that's kind of the sort of the inferred, the 18,000 and the 600 a day and all this sort of thing.
Right.
I think we're at the time frame where it's coming into effect. And so we'll see an uptick, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I want NIO to kind of lead the way on the numbers. And so I'm not expecting that many. I think I'll be happy to see like a 20,000, 25,000 number a month once NIO Park is online. And again, I'm kind of thinking more in terms of 2023. Let's get positioned for big monthly deliveries all of 2023. And so whatever we get in the end of this year is kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
If we go above that.
Agreed. Dude, I'm trying to find this tweet, dude. I liked it. I swear. Oh, there it is. Okay.
What, the one you were going to send me?
Yeah, the one I was. Okay, I like it. All right, now I can find it.
All right.
Jeff said it's a $1 trillion boondoggle.
You darn right.
Boondoggle?
Write that down.
Did I say that right?
I like that. We're going with it.
It's a $1 trillion.
It's the word of the day.
Boondoggle. 45K per month. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
And I'm kind of thinking more like 25 is what I want to see. That's a
couple months after
2x from what we just did as a record. So those are big numbers.
Yeah, for sure. David said, playing devil's advocate here, if, for instance, the delisting happens and NIO is forced to transfer shares to Hong Kong, knowing volume in Hong Kong is around 1 million shares a day, how would that work?
I do not know, and I don't want to try to speculate. I think one thing, I don't know if you saw this, but Li Auto and NIO just made the China Fortune 500, I think it was.
Nice.
And NIO is definitely emerging. Again, I think short term, it's hard to imagine the stock price would suffer because it's the U.S. side of the market that keeps bringing it down.
Yeah.
And that's where the shorting is more prevalent. And there's a lot more manipulation that goes on.
I think long term, it's good, though.
Long term, it's
good to be in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. But I think short term, it would be
a lot of.
I hate to speculate too much. I think it would be an adjustment for, both the Singapore and Hong Kong markets over there. But it's hard to imagine.
Interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine we would have so much selling pressure because the options market, the trading is such a big part
of the U.S. market.
Yeah, and those would be
a lot of institutional investments and other things like that go away as well. So.
Yeah, well, and a lot of them still invest over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The difference is on the regulation side over there, they will not allow the naked shorting.
Yeah.
They do not allow it over there. And that's ironically, people make the knock on China, but, if we're not regulating and there's not a lot of honor in our markets, then I don't know why we're talking about that,
Agreed. Goodness.
So I don't know. Maybe NIO becomes a major stock if that would happen, over in that market.
I would have to figure some stuff out. That's all I got to say. To get on that moo.
Fully fungible. Let's go.
Yeah. Roman, what's up, Roman? I don't know if he was in here before,
Roman,
but I haven't said hi to Roman.
welcome. No, that's for sure.
What do you think NIO's delivery will be after NIO Park opens?
I think September. I would like to see. We've got 2 models coming out. If it's a slower ramp up, I don't know. Do they do 5,000 with each one? All right, here to put things into context, the ET7 after several months at the existing factory, they're still not doing 5,000 deliveries of that. They did over 5,000 of the ES6 and over 4,000 of the ET7. So maybe they get 4,000 of each. But I don't know if that's, I don't want to put unrealistic expectations on. I'm hoping they'll tell us something on the August call to give us a better sense of what to expect. But, if we get 4,000 to 5,000 of each vehicle, then that's 8 to 10K from there.
Extra.
And if we can get
with park
15 from the existing, 15 to 18, once that's, fully operational, then what are we, 23 to maybe 28 range?
Well, yeah. Are you including the park?
Yeah, that's both.
Okay.
So there's an 8 to 10 that I'm kind of, and I don't know, I'm guessing.
With the 2 new cars.
Yeah. If they do 4 to 5 of each in the first.
And then.
But is that realistic? I don't know for September.
15. I feel like you could do more than that.
Yeah, I hope so. I know earlier, and that was before they got to the point where they are, one of the execs was saying by the end of the year, they were hoping to do 10,000 a month of the ET5. So kind of, again, the same thing as the ET7. It's been a slower ramp up.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy with when NIO Park is online in September. If we see, I'm just going to be excited when we see 20 to 25K.
I was going to say 20 will be 20 will be a big number.
Yeah. Good psychological number.
Feels good. Love that.
Yeah. We're ready.
Yes, sir.
Can you imagine if the stock price is at 20 and they're doing numbers like that?
Doing the same thing I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm. TLM.
Being bored.
Too little money.
Being bored. Being bored. That's what I'm doing.
What else we got?
Shlomo.
What's up?
Go. I don't know if you guys saw my comment on $20 yesterday. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah. Yes. Holding really well.
But I got calls when we dropped there this morning, up 30%, targeting 24. Let's go.
Nice.
Shlomo playing the game.
Love it.
Playing the game.
He's on it. And we were talking about that on Discord the other day. About that $20 level. And I was just kind of like, well, watching it. Market weakness. And we're holding it.
Right there for like a single second. And of course, that's like the only notification I got. And I was like, no.
By the time you check, it's.
By the time I checked, we were right back up. I was like,
And that's just it. Like,
should have known.
With the market backdrop being as weak as it is, that's a really positive sign for the stock. I feel like consolidation. That's exactly what it is.
Right there.
Yeah.
Smart play.
Yeah. Morrow, by the way, I saw Morrow is still expecting NIO to drop at some point. He thinks it's going to go up first. So let's see. Just write that down. Mental note.
You put out stuff today?
It was a comment within a comment on another thread. Oh, yeah. You know how I do. And that was like yesterday, I think, when I saw it.
Getting lost in rabbit holes of comments on Twitter.
Listen, there's a reason I am
there you go.
Nerding out on the research all the time. You got to dig. Otherwise, you might just think there's going to be 30,000 deliveries this month. Right.
Maybe there is, dude. Never know. You never know.
I hope there's 18.
Let's go, Jakes. He hopped on last night and was talking about one today.
Yes, I bet he's trading
only
it
two
too.
things read in my profile: NIO and Xiaopeng today.
Wow. Well, and I wonder, did anybody else notice that? I thought, and I didn't look real in depth, but I thought that BABA going down might have been kind of the indicator that other stuff went down with it. But I didn't look at enough stuff to say that with any certainty this morning. I think that time frame, that's when things kind of aligned there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. NIO is really the only red thing in my portfolio. Yeah, NIO. Let's go. That's why we do the live streams. Ted said, I still don't get the delisting scare. Can we just move our shares to Singapore or Hong Kong if we can? Why are we supposed to be scared, or am I missing something? You can.
Yeah, you can.
It's just the fear of people loving the U.S. market and seeing it as a terribly awful bad thing for the stock, I would assume.
Yeah, I think fear, it's one of my favorite sayings. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Because what does the emotion do for you?
Not saying it'd be a good thing.
Gives you a feeling, but
yeah,
from an investment standpoint, there's two things that are concrete. You can't eliminate risk. So there's always going to be some level of risk. And then it's just a matter of, okay, well, what's my acceptable risk tolerance?
Yeah, I could see why you definitely could be worried. Maybe I don't think that. I think like selling or doing something of that extremity is just a bit much.
Well, let's say you can't buy NIO on the U.S. market. Do you think that really impacts the price or the value of the company?
I think it will impact the price. I don't think it impacts the value of it.
There you go.
Ooh,
I like that.
Because, the price, obviously the price reflects what the price reflects, but the price doesn't always reflect the company.
Yeah.
I'd say in a stage.
What's that?
Value, like obviously the company, just because they're not in the New York Stock Exchange, is still going to be valuable, especially if they're global and in 3 different markets.
Yeah.
Still going to hold value, but I think it does change the price a little bit.
Well, and to David's point, he talked about they don't do as much trading over there. So maybe there's less volatility. And so maybe that.
Well, not as many shares being moved around, maybe. Yeah. I don't know a lot about the Hong Kong or Singapore markets and stuff like that as far as volume comparisons and that kind of thing.
Well, just from the standpoint of the options market being what it is here in the U.S.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would guess there'd be a lot more shares moved around on a daily basis here than there. Just if I had to guess,
seems consistent with volatility, as being more in play.
I mean, I guess you could see that as a good thing. You're just more sure your price isn't going to maybe move as violently or as much, but I don't know. Kind of like the fun, the excitement. That's not here right now.
It's so boring, he says.
It is. So yeah, that was my answer to your question, Ted. Jeff said, David, I think NIO would be a whole new atmosphere for the Hong Kong exchange.
Yeah, I think so too. It'd be really interesting.
Well, they're in the Hong Kong exchange, right?
Yeah, but he's saying if they were removed from the U.S.
Yeah, removed from
might become dominant.
I think it'd be interesting to see how it would affect the price there and in other markets, of course. But
I still think NIO is a little bit new over there, though.
Yeah,
it's still emerging in a way.
You think majority of NIO investors are in U.S.?
That I don't know.
That'd be interesting to find out.
I don't know.
How many people are holding in the U.S. versus, in other markets. Obviously, people in the U.S. could be holding NIO in the Hong Kong exchange,
right?
But you know what I mean.
I know that I think American investors are more likely to trade NIO. I think.
Well, sure.
We have fewer relative to like in Europe. I think a lot of people are looking at NIO as a buy long term, and not necessarily looking to trade it.
Yeah, I think.
And then right. I still think, and just from our viewers in Europe talking about how, some of them know people who own it, but that's more like in Norway. Some of the countries where NIO hasn't gone yet, they're not even familiar with the brand, which again is a nod that it's still very early. That's what we want in my mind. Yeah. And that means more volatility.
Sure.
All right, let's go. That's why I keep the seatbelt on most of the time.
It's on. I haven't needed it really. Just been kind of slow.
Lately.
Yeah.
You're not even buckled.
My unbuckle. Just kidding. Never unbuckling. Frank said, I'll be the guest. Frank will keep you company. Guys, I'll be out of the States, traveling around, possibly driving in a NIO. Who knows?
What? You better send pictures.
That would be a cool YouTube video. Surprise.
Seth
Look at
NIO.
my NIO. That'd blow up for sure. I just scared. No, never mind. Wouldn't do that. Ted said at Shake, same with my portfolio. LOL.
With the Xiaopeng and NIO being red.
Yeah, same. I already said that, but Jeff said, give William Lee some success with Red Bulls to release some information. LOL. Alani. Energy.
It's the drink of the day.
Come on.
It's good.
Provided via Aaron. He's the one who literally gets me. I don't drink these unless I'm with him. He just always has them.
Does that make me a bad influence?
No. I love them. They're good. I'm not going to lie.
They are good.
Yeah. Better than the C4? I don't know.
C4. Different kind of good.
Jake said it's floating around 20. I'm pretty sure this will be around the bottom moving forward.
I love it. And I love hearing a trader say that, because I know that traders are a lot more aware of the levels and yeah, on the TA side. And so it's nice, because I've been kind of thinking that and hoping that, but I also want to be realistic and keep expectations in check, not get too bullish too fast.
Sure.
You know, it's not moon time yet, but
really, shoot.
But yeah, it's good.
Rizwan, end of year delivery number.
Good question. NIO did about 91,000 last year, and I really wanted to see them double that, 2x that this year, but I don't know if they can do it, because April and May really hurt.
Yeah.
We really fell behind. It's doable. I don't want to count on it.
You said 90-something thousand?
90.
Last
I
year?
think it was 91 something last year. And they've done 25 and 25.
If you think about
the
it,
first 2 quarters.
they're really only going to have about maybe a little bit, even less than half of this year of good, consistent deliveries.
They've done about 100.
So doubling it would be actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, doubling it would be like full steam ahead.
Well, think about it.
This year,
monthly, say on average, monthly, being generous, what? Let's say 17 average.
Yeah,
between now and the end of year, what we're producing then versus now.
Yeah, I think
15.
You
could
15
average
to 20 somewhere in there.
All right,
for the last
meet in the
6
middle
months.
at 17 times. The next. Well, obviously we're not.
Basically.
Obviously, we're not going to do 17 this month. Well, not obviously.
If you're averaging it,
right? That's fair enough to say. And times that by 5 months. That's what, like another 85.
Yeah, 60.
It's 85.
34, 68.
85.
Bam! Look at you.
Yeah,
Ooh-wee.
Finance major. Let's
Man.
go. So another 85 on top of what the 50 that they've done already.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so that's a 135.
That's still blowing it out of the water.
It's a big uptick
For having
I think we're not unreasonable.
Short, limited time
to look for like a 150 number for the year. But it all depends on ramp up of NIO Park.
Yeah.
And shutdowns and things like that. So
we're assuming not the absolute best, but we're assuming
no, not at all. By the end of the year,
assuming
25
smooth sailing
could be.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that number. 150, 140,
130 to 160, maybe somewhere in there.
It's a range.
Give it a range. We'll go with it. 130 to 160.
145.
We just made that up.
That's my guess. 145 on the
You
top.
heard it here. And this is why we do this.
This is why we do this. If I'm right, chat.
Write that down.
Someone. We're gonna remember that in 5 months. I'll remember.
You can type it.
We'll come back and look at the stream.
Pin it, type it and pin it. Can we do that? Can we
I don't
pin our
think
own
it
thing?
will. Yeah,
Pin our
on
own
this
thing?
video, sure. But you're gonna have to come back and check this video
Oh
in
yeah,
5
we're gonna
months.
do that.
That's gonna be buried in the deep,
It'll be
long
history.
lost
Ancient
archives
history.
of
Yeah.
streaming Fridays. Hopefully, we'll still be here.
Where can I order?
Yeah,
NIO
David
trending?
said, "Where can I order a NIO trending hat?"
I haven't been I don't do merch.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I did. But then I'm like, I don't want to be. I don't know if NIO would have an issue with it, and I don't want to be.
They can't have an issue with it. They're all the way in China.
I mean,
they can't have an issue with it.
they're gonna be selling stuff here.
Oh yeah, maybe one day, but then you'll
But
have an
I
issue
can't
with it because if you like copyright patent it, whatever first, like, then NIO's gonna have to be paying you some serious cash. Start using your merch.
Oh man,
I'm saying. There you go. Just email him. He'll send you.
yeah, email me.
Get you a hat from your local mall. Andy. I think there is too much for everybody to lose if NIO got delisted. That's another good point to bring up. I think there's certain partnerships and other, I don't want to say political things take place, partnerships and business-wise things that are happening that I don't think would be beneficial for the U.S. at all. But
yeah, I think in spite of all the U.S. Chinese posturing that both countries do,
yeah,
business is global.
Business is business.
Yeah, it's a global thing, and I mean, look at the war in Russia and how the values and things and oil and all the different, like, it just, people's perspective, especially when you get politicians trying to weigh in and make business decisions.
They're global markets now, man.
Exactly. That's
globalization. I learned a lot
Business
about that in
is
economics. Globalization. It's a big word.
Let's go.
It's an important one.
Let's go.
OPS typing along. When are the options traders getting in NIO? Who knows? They're probably in it right now. They're probably just.
When? Yeah. What do you mean?
Short,
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
When are option traders getting in NIO?
I think they're just playing the levels.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of them are doing.
Not me, though. I wish. Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
Kevin.
Long term, what do you think the price could reach? I always want to compare it to Tesla, but can you?
Well, Tesla, being American and at the time frame and also the shorting mechanism that went on, I think all contributed. All those things are positives that I don't want to count on for NIO. But Tesla also went to, with the splits factored in and everything, went over $5,000.
Yeah.
So even if NIO would only go to 500, which is a tenth of that, and that's sort of a simplistic overview of, one way to look at it. If you think NIO can go there, then the question is, at what value do you think the stock makes sense, and when would you want to buy, and that sort of thing. That's kind of the way that I've looked at it from a really simplified overview.
Price could reach and should reach, I think, are different too. Because price could reach, I mean, if you really want to compare companies and where they're going and what's going on in the world, then obviously should reach, I would like to say NIO should reach a lot higher than maybe it ever will, just because of the simple fact that it's a Chinese company. I don't know. But
well, to that point,
like
in 10 years, maybe that's a non-issue. Maybe
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I said, really it's weird.
Yeah. To try
especially in the New York Stock Exchange. I mean,
yeah.
Where should it go? To the moon.
Boom. It's in the background.
It will go to the moon, actually. I should rephrase that. It will. But where's your moon?
Where's your moon?
Where is your moon?
Is it triple digits?
My moon is triple digits.
Let's go.
Well, triple digits. Into. So is your answer, Kevin?
Yeah.
Triple digits?
That's a decent answer.
There's only like 999 variables in there.
But no, really, as an investor, it's kind of that's the way I look at it. Is I ask myself questions. I'm like, all right, where do I think this could go? What's reasonable? What's not? And, I don't have the same expectation for the way that Tesla moved, but that's for different reasons. And so those are some of those reasons.
Yep.
And it's not that NIO won't be a great global brand. I do think that will happen. And that's sort of why I do think there's a lot of upside, a lot still to go. Hopefully we're right.
Yeah. Hopefully. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
If we were just right.
Let's go.
I think a lot of people would be really happy. Jeff said there's some very big surprises ahead, financially speaking, protecting shareholders. They knew the deal with the U.S. ABS on our markets.
Yeah, I think the fact that they hired a forensics team to maybe go after the Grizzly shorters or whatever, I think that's more of a nod to, hey, investors, we care about you. We're letting you know that we care about you with this.
Yeah, not like the SEC.
Yeah, that's a lot of retail is feeling that way right now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Found the tweet. Sending it to you.
Sending
it.
I'll check it out.
We'll discuss after.
I love it. People agreeing in the chat. Jake says 100% Andy. Let's go. OBS,
how to get in the Discord. Oh.
I haven't really opened it up for a while. I was doing a Patreon Discord thing, but that's because I was trying those out. I'd never used them before. And so I had other people running them for me. And then I was just like, okay, I'm really not good at this. And so so I haven't been very active.
They sent us in the Discord.
But I'll talk to the guy who runs the Discord and maybe we should float some ideas about maybe opening things up or letting more
getting things like trying to push
it
more maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of new people that might like to get in.
Yeah, maybe.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Food for thought.
Open the gates to the NIO community. So in short, how to get in the Discord, coming soon. Roman said, what sort of delivery numbers do you expect NIO to do in all of 2023?
Ooh.
Chat's got all the questions.
Ooh, we're going hard today.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's see. If by the end of this year, we're at a point where NIO can be doing at least 25,000 in a month deliveries, then, and they're going to have the upside capacity, and they're also going to be working on phase 2 of NIO Park, which is going to be at least another 200,000. But that's the sub brand. I don't think we expect that for the full year, certainly. But even at the low end, 25,000. Let's say they only do 25,000 for the 12 months. What are we talking, Math Whiz? I know you got it. I'll call you Math guy.
I was thinking of like a whole different equation in my head. You're going to have to repeat
25K times 12.
No, God.
That's 300, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be 300,000. And that would be a really nice uptick if, let's say, we do the 150-ish this year, then that's a 2x on top. And then I think we still will have the potential to maybe 2x from there, knock on wood.
From the 150?
From the 300. So I think we could
in 2023,
depending on how phase 2 of NIO Park goes, because if that's 200,000, setting up for the sub brand.
So you think essentially we quadruple?
I don't know. Should we cover up the mic? Is this too super secret right now? Are you
thinking we go from a projected 150? Is that what we said this month? 150?
That's what we're hoping for.
Or this year
for 130 to 150.
So you're saying a possible.
I'm saying
quadrupling
by the end of this year, if they're at 25K per month, and that's all they do, no more than 25K for 12 months.
After this year,
that's 300
after this year
in 2023.
Yeah.
And then,
I was gonna guess 300,
and that would
just
be a
for
2X.
all of.
That would be 2X
Yeah, I think
year.
the 2x. I was gonna say. Oh, you could go even more than that. Because think about it, we only had about.
Well, we're being conservative.
Well, yeah, because we had like 6-ish good months of deliveries, not even 6 full.
Exactly.
So if you want to double it, I mean, that's even being a little bit conservative as well.
And that's where.
So you could double and a half it.
Demand in Europe, expansion into the U.S., sub brand, those are all still to come. I mean,
Right.
we're really early, and that's why I've kind of started saying 2022 is a year of positioning for NIO.
Yeah.
Because 2023 is where we're really going to see big numbers come in, I think.
And one of the biggest holdups right now, I feel like expansion has got to be not architecture. What is infrastructure? That's what I'm thinking. As far as like adapting to a whole EV, like I feel like that's one of the biggest, like most time-consuming things that they have, like that needs to get done before it can like completely dominate.
Part of it was the battery swaps, the power swaps.
Yeah.
Now there are over 1,000 of those in China. That's
a lot of them, but China's big, dude.
It's a big country.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Where are we at? We're going in today.
I don't know.
I mean,
so
yeah, Roman maybe, hopefully low end 300 for 2023.
Over 300.
Don't tell the analysts. We want to stay ahead of them.
No. Also, we're right and they're wrong.
Always.
Yeah.
Mostly. Sometimes, not financial advice.
That's why they watch us.
That's
That's why they're watching us right now and not the news. Jake said, I think you're spot on, Aaron, for September.
I hope so.
With the number of deliveries?
Yeah, I hope so.
Probably is. Rizwan said sounds both.
Southbound Connect.
Southbound Connect will give more volume to Hong Kong NIO stock. What is that?
That's within the exchange over there. There's a way that things work over there. And I'm not terribly familiar with it, so I won't try and explain it.
Oh, okay.
But
I'll learn.
Basically, and the way I look at it, again, concept, I'm a simple guy. Overview is kind of the way I look at it. China is newer with adopting, the monetary system like the U.S. had done. They're newer with their real estate market. They're newer with they've sort of watched what the U.S. has done, and then they've created models after that, but they're also trying to learn from it.
Right.
So their stock markets are newer, but they're developing. It's, so it's as things grow, they're still emerging. They're still an emerging country.
Sure.
So conceptually, I'm just saying it's early.
Right.
And so it's
agreed.
It's, blue sky coming. Way by.
Hermes is back. What's up,
Hermes? What's up?
From last night. China doesn't let people buy NIO, but they get away with it through VPN.
Oh, you're talking on the U.S. exchange. Interesting.
Oh, like
buying U.S.
we can
yeah.
buy on the Hong Kong exchange, but they can't buy on the New York Stock Exchange.
That's interesting.
Essentially, unless you obviously have a VPN. I feel like VPN's got to be really common there.
I don't know if we're supposed to talk about it. Super secret. Ooh, by the way,
Top secret.
Remind me later before this stream is over. Wait, it's already after 3. What did NIO close at? What happened? Where were we? Holy cow! Look at
where does it say close?
Pushing up.
Why does it not say?
Here's
close?
the price.
Yeah, I see
at close
that,
2073.
Yeah.
Can you say consolidation? Let's go. Man, this is gonna be fun when this thing explodes up.
What a comeback! 1995. Ooh, scary.
Wow. And people are still here with us. That's outstanding.
Smoking is back. Let's go. Time to go watch the market close.
Yeah, see, we're so far behind.
We missed that.
I'm sorry. As usual, I'm slacking.
BYD is only listed in Hong Kong and has a market cap of $127 billion and a PE ratio of 203. That's twice as expensive as Tesla. So it goes to show you don't need to be listed in the New York Stock Exchange.
Well said,
that's
David.
crude.
I like it.
Yeah, BYD is also just like a monster right now in China. They're a little bit ahead of NIO.
But it's fun to think because the branding, because remember, China has never had a premium brand from there.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a sense of national pride with that. I absolutely think that is a value.
Sure.
So, and I think people are going to want to own it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Why not?
We're over here and we want to.
I do. Yeah, shoot.
Let's go.
So BYD doesn't do anything luxury, really?
They have some vehicles, but see, that's the difference.
Well, when you say premium, is luxury included in that, or like?
Yeah, I mean, globally, you don't think of a Chinese brand as,
no,
like your designers or your vehicles or whatever. And that's why I'm saying this is a first. And that's a big nod. I think that has a lot more value than people are going to recognize yet.
Yeah.
Because I think as the country in China becomes more aware of it, people are going to want it.
Right.
Not just the vehicle, not just the merchandise, but also owning a piece of the company.
Right. Cool. I like it.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. Andy said my plan is to hold NIO for 5 years.
I'm holding
until I'll hold. Test me. See how long I'll hold it. See, be a long time. Dawson Investments and Industrial. Clown China is not where you want to be right now.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
Is it hate in the chat?
You can be. Your opinion is yours. So we're gonna leave it at.
China is not where you want to be. We're not. We're in the Midwest here.
Yeah.
In the U.S.
Randy said there's a lot more NIO shares than Tesla shares available. So is there?
Yeah.
A lot more NIO shares? I wonder what that is. I have no clue what that is.
There's no guarantee that NIO won't do a buyback later. I don't want to talk about that too early because they're still expanding. They're not profitable. There's a lot more to do, but they kind of gave us a preview.
When they become larger, they might have to, though.
Well, that's more along the lines of what Chinese companies do.
Yeah.
Because again, their view of investments is different and value is different.
There's more new issues. Are they close to the same now? Yeah, I'm not sure what the total flow is.
I think NIO's bigger, but I'd have to check Teslas. I'm not as familiar with them. I think
to say Tesla is way overvalued.
Tesla's
maybe so.
Hey, I'll be curious to see what happens with Tesla if they don't come down with. I think I'm going to listen in on earnings. I can't wait for that. That's coming up.
What is that?
I think it's the 4th. Same as AMC. Big day. I don't know if I can listen to both of them. I might have.
August?
I don't know. Yeah. I gotta double check that. Remind me to double check that.
That's silly. They have to know that they're doing that.
Because that's a big deal. The Tesla earnings are going to be a big deal for the market, I think, overall. Something to watch.
Which is crazy. That just one company's earnings are.
Yeah, right.
Like the whole overall market.
What else we got?
Jake said he's NIO options and play the flow. You can easily generate $1,000 a week trading between certain levels. Every so often, I have to buy back my calls, but I just roll them up.
That's outstanding.
So listen to Jake.
That's what I said. He's a trader for real.
Oh no!
I knew we were getting spammed.
I swear.
Disregard those messages, everybody.
God,
just
Whoa, they're.
So does that mean they subbed?
I don't. That means they had to, but we just blocked them. Now they can't sub.
Or if they subbed your
Put them
channel
on
or mine.
timeout.
I
I'm
know.
gonna put them in timeout.
Put them there.
Well,
There's none of
get them
that.
out.
And then, how many of our 13 viewers were they? Man, that's not good.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Sorry, we're back. No,
Jake
that's
said
awesome.
about
Jake.
the NIO options. Yeah, dude, I wish. I need to
That's
learn.
awesome. Baby steps to greatness.
Daniel, Bears messed up today. Falling price and rising volume. Falling price. That's true. That is a little
NIO
weird.
closed 30 cents down. Yeah, after that. You know what?
Speaking of volume,
the market is wild right now.
Watch it.
The market is wild. I can't believe it was just time. Well, because you were late, that was part of it. But the time really flew today.
Time did?
Yeah. It's been flying.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions or anything before we wrap it up?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you want to know, and we'll let you know if we know what you want to know.
David, there he is. NIO's gross margins
are bigger than Tesla's at the same stage in their life cycle. The reason Tesla is so valued is because they make so much profit per car. NIO can do the same when they get profitable.
Yeah, I believe they will too. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And I saw a video, I know we talked about this before, actually, of why Tesla decided not to do battery swapping is literally because of their profit ratios. What they said, that it wasn't as profitable or whatever as just simply creating the battery. I think it was one of their mechanic leaders or someone was talking about it, but I saw it on Twitter. Speaking of profits.
Well, I think it's kind of, it was a different time. It was a different era. I also have not seen how much market research they actually did
on it.
And I don't think that they had the closed loop on things like what NIO has done, but they also didn't have government support in the infrastructure, and NIO does. So again, those are all different factors you got to take into account. And it's one of the reasons I try not to do too much comparison. But those margins are a big part of why Tesla became profitable. And yeah, NIO, that's exactly why I'm in it. I mean, that's just one of the things I really like and can't wait to see,
Sure.
I want to see what the second quarter numbers for NIO, if it's August 10th, they're going to have some ET7s in there. I want to see, because they've got more costs with expansion going on right now, but I want to see if overall we see an increase or improvement from the last quarter in the margins because of the ET7 sales. I'm really curious how that looks because they haven't done a lot of ET7 sales yet. Yeah. There'll be a little bit of a taste there.
Will be.
A little teaser.
Let's go.
Asian Fish, what's up?
Heyo, made it. Heyo, what's up? Hanging out. Talking.
Yeah.
The huge.
Daniel
and it says Mr. P was talking about base in the money.
Bass. Battery as a service.
Oh, battery as a service. Goodness.
Well, there are different ways to approach it, but yeah, in fact, you know what we need to do? That'll be fun. We need to do my first video. The first one where I was like with the lake in the background and I was like, and I was talking about battery as a service. And I tried to
when you were like walking, when you used to do those runs out at homes. Is that when you used to do them?
Yeah. We need to do that.
Just video it up.
And talk about it because I think I suggested what the numbers could be. And the idea is this, the idea of battery as a service, if it's a subscription base, every vehicle that you sell, if the person subscribes, then that's a passive income stream that the company can get.
Yep.
So as you sell more vehicles, that income stream increases with more of those sales. And if, for example, they do 130,000 vehicles this year,
sure,
and they've done, let's say they end up with a total of 200, 300,000. Well, they've already done 200 aggregate, like over the course of time. Let's say they do 300,000 vehicles, total. And 60% adopt battery as a service. Then you've got an income stream from all those users. And that is what's exciting is as they're selling more vehicles,
that's a whole other business inside of a business.
Exactly. That was my first video. Was doing that. I was like, hey, I can't get anybody to talk about this because not very many people were doing NIO videos back then.
Passive income stream.
But also nobody had evaluated something like that. How do you evaluate something that's never been done? And so I just threw some numbers out, and of course there are different plays off of it. But I think it's going to be fun. And I haven't watched that video. Remind me to check it out. That'd be good to see that Mr. P video. I want to see what he's talking about.
Mr. P video.
Because concept is the key thing. And the idea of passive income that's huge like that is still not recognized. Great. That's what I want.
As you finish, Kevin, do you think NIO will hit their 160K delivery? Was that their goal? Did they
that was their
say
goal? I don't know.
specifically?
I can't remember.
Because we had said our number for this stream was 130 to 150. We, based on the numbers we're in, that's conservatively. But we think that's definitely.
So it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to book it, the last quarter, basically. They'll really.
And essentially, we based that 150 off of, we said they've already done about 50K this year. And we said if they deliver on average for the next 5 months, 17,000 vehicles each month.
6 months, right? On average.
Well, including
because
this.
It's an average.
Did we do 5 though? We did 5. We did 5 because it was 85 plus 50.
So it could be more.
Because
you're the math guy. I don't know.
Well, no, I did 5.
Straight.
I did 5. I did 5. Either way, okay, do 6, just add 17 to 145. That's like 162.
So
163.
Right in that range. It's going to be close, guys. I feel like it's going to be a
I think 160 is definitely possible. I think so. I think we said 130 pretty conservatively. Is that like a
yeah. We got a range. We're not sure.
We got a range.
I mean, it's a big difference if NIO's doing 15 versus 25.
Yeah, it is.
Like the last quarter. If they do 25 the last
compounds
3 months, that's 75.
Right. And obviously, we're not saying we hope that they do 17 every month. We're saying start off lower and have the last couple months kind of carry the next maybe 1 or 2, 3 months,
Yeah. And that's kind of where we're ranging, 130, 160-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Adrian
said, do you think NIO will ever catch up to Tesla in revenue? Or do you think they wouldn't because they have an early advantage? That revenue would be hard.
I think they could because for 2 reasons. Although not only 2 reasons, but one is NIO Life, which is a big, we don't know if it could do anything like what Marcel said it could potentially be. That thing could be massive on its own. The other is China.
Yeah.
Because that country, what happens there, and based on what happens there.
Crazy thing is Tesla is still just doing so much in China as well.
Yeah, China.
When you think about it, Tesla's still tearing open China kind of.
That's the thing where China really elevated Tesla's game.
Yeah.
I mean, that was but again, so what does that mean for NIO? I think it's a great question to pose, and I don't know the answer, but I think we're all going to try and find out.
Yeah. Think we'll know soon enough.
I go.
Ever, and then Asia said 16K on average for the remainder of the year. We'll get NIO to 150.
Yeah, so in that range,
that's
that ballpark.
Yeah.
130, 160.
What are we talking about? But who knows? We don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. Let's say we get 15 for this month, and then next month is 18.
Yeah.
And then they go 20 to 25 the rest of the year. Those last 4 months.
It could be more.
Yeah, depending on how fast they ramp up NIO Park, that could be a big uptick in the numbers.
So hard to.
But we're trying to be conservative.
Yeah. And I think rightfully so. I think you should be conservative right now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think right now is the time to be reaching out.
We just want them to position for dominance. I think they're doing it.
Indeed. Well said.
Is it time to wrap it up? I think it's time to wrap it up.
We're long.
Asian Fish. One more comment.
If it is not for China, Tesla would be indeed doo-doo.
Well, I do think that you got to recognize that Tesla did get to profitability on the government subsidies here in the U.S.
Yeah, I think Tesla gets in and out of deep doo-doo every other week.
Who, Mr. Overhype?
Can never decide. They can't ever decide what they're doing. 1 minute it's Tesla this, 1 minute it's Tesla that, 1 minute it's.
If you listen in on the earnings call
got
this
a bunch
time,
of babies.
just listen to him talk about Optimus and where that's for you. He's so funny.
The Cybertruck and all that stuff. The Cybertrucks are cool. They're cool looking, dude. I'm not gonna lie. They look like really cool.
We got more questions. We better hit these.
Okay.
All right.
As Fish said, I think December delivery NIO target was 30K.
Man, I hope so.
That would be cool.
Because I'm being conservative. I'm hoping like 25.
That would be a great
to
sign into the next new year.
Oof, would it?
What did I say? Early Christmas?
Because that'd put us at 360 for next year.
Yeah.
Low side.
Low side. Haha, doo doo.
Yeah, we'll say that. We're wild.
KY
Get
Jelly.
live.
When do you think we'll see profitability? I've seen articles that mention 2024 and 2025, but I'm thinking this seems to be too far out unless they are spending that much in R&D and expansion. Thoughts? 2023.
Mr. EQ, William Lee, said 2024. He wouldn't have said that if it wasn't going to be at least by then. And so, yeah, I'm thinking 2023, we got a shot. I think the delivery numbers and the margins will give us an indicator. And I think, again, if we're doing that 30 plus
We can get 30
in a
plus
month next year,
They have to.
it's coming quick.
That's well over double.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
So, yeah, I think 2023 is realistic.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna have to start sending them some emails if they're not. Maybe some handwritten letters, Aaron style.
yeah. Andy, appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Everybody
Cheers,
appreciate
Andy.
it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up.
Thank you all.
But we'll be back.
Another day,
and we
two
might
in a
do a
row.
live stream at night again. I don't know.
Yeah.
We might
Did
do
one
that.
last night. It was good. It's a good time.
Good time.
Good people,
Yeah.
as always.
Yeah.
You want to give them the
KY says, thank you. I've been a long time listener. Yeah, I know. I've seen you in the comments.
Let's
I
go.
remember. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Asia Fish, remember, Mr. EQ always under promises and over delivers. That's exactly my thought. That's why when he said 2024, I said, oh, bet. Let's go.
Let's go.
So appreciate it, David.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you.
Thank you all for stopping in. We appreciate it. And if
Yeah.
you can, real quick before we hop off.
Thanks, Jades. Yeah, don't forget, subscribe. Click the like. Definitely
sub.
subscribe because
Both
we're going to
of
be
them are
doing,
right there.
I've been doing these pop-up streams.
And
I
you
never know
do
what I'm
have to
going
be,
to do.
and you got to be subbed so that you know when we go,
Yeah.
and so that you can comment,
Yeah.
and like be a part of the fam.
Yeah.
And it just takes a second, really.
It's a global fam.
It really does.
Big fam.
You won't regret it. All right,
Thanks,
guys.
y'all. Everybody take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.